The email that said no. A silence after pressing send. Hope shrinking into doubt. A door closed without explanation. Confidence shaken but not destroyed. A dream paused, not ended. Questions echoed through the night. Fela whispered harsh assumptions. Pride cracked under quiet disappointment. Then something unexpected stirred. The rejection arrived on an ordinary morning, wrapped in polite language and professional distance. And yet it carried a weight that felt deeply personal, as if every effort made so far had been judged and found lacking in a single decisive moment. Instead of anger, there was confusion. And beneath that confusion was a hollow ache that made the future suddenly feel smaller and more uncertain. For days, the mind replayed the attempt again and again, searching for the exact sentence, decision, or flaw that must have caused the door to close so firmly. Each replay added another layer of self-doubt, slowly convincing the heart that maybe this outcome was not an exception, but a verdict on potential itself. Friends offered comfort with familiar phrases, yet those words slid off because they did not answer the question that mattered most, which was whether the dream was ever realistic to begin with. In quiet moments, the temptation to give up appeared reasonable, even mature, disguised as practicality rather than fear. What made the rejection sting was not just the last opportunity, but the belief that it confirmed an old suspicion of not being enough. That belief had been waiting patiently for years, ready to step forward the moment evidence appeared to support it. Sleep became shallow, filled with half-finished thoughts about alternate lives and safer paths that required less courage and promised fewer disappointments.
Morning routines continued, but they felt mechanical, as if motivation had been replaced by obligation alone.
Eventually, exhaustion from overthinking created a strange clarity, a moment where the mind simply could not continue punishing itself without reason. In that stillness, a new question emerged, quieter but stronger, asking what would happen if rejection was treated as information instead of a judgment. That single shift in perspective did not erase the pain, but it redirected it, turning emotional weight into a source of energy rather than paralysis.
The rejection began to look less like a wall and more like a sign pointing toward necessary change.
Looking back honestly revealed patterns that had been ignored, skills that needed sharpening, and risks that had been avoided out of comfort rather than strategy. The rejection exposed gaps that success might have hidden for years, making it an uncomfortable but valuable mirror. Instead of rushing to prove worth to others, attention turned inward, focusing on building competence rather than validation. Each small improvement restored a piece of confidence, not because approval was guaranteed, but because effort was finally aligned with growth. Days turned into weeks, and progress became visible in subtle ways that only patience could reveal. The work felt different now, grounded in purpose rather than desperation, driven by curiosity instead of fear of failure. There were moments when doubt returned, especially when comparing progress to others who seemed to move effortlessly forward. Yet those comparisons lost their power as soon as it became clear that everyone's journey hides its own collection of rejections. The rejection that once felt humiliating slowly transformed into a reference point, a before and after marker that clarified what truly mattered. It taught the importance of resilience, not as a dramatic comeback, but as a quiet commitment to continue. Opportunities began appearing in unexpected forms, not necessarily bigger, but better aligned with newly refined strengths. Each opportunity was approached with humility and preparation, shaped by lessons learned the hard way. Confidence returned, but it was different now, calmer and less dependent on external praise or immediate results. It was rooted in the knowledge that even if another rejection came, survival and growth were already proven possible. Looking back at the original rejection, it became clear that success at that moment would have locked growth at a lower level. The delay forced development that could not have been rushed without discomfort. The story was no longer about being chosen, but about choosing to continue despite uncertainty. That choice, repeated daily, became the foundation of a stronger identity. When another chance finally arrived, it did not feel like salvation, but like a natural next step. Preparedness replaced anxiety, and effort replaced the need to impress. Even if the chance had failed, the outcome would not have defined worth anymore. The real victory had already happened in the mindset shift that turned rejection into fuel. Sharing the experience with others revealed how universal rejection truly is, even among those admired most. Hearing their stories confirmed that growth often hides behind moments people rarely talk about. The rejection had stripped away illusions and replaced them with discipline, clarity, and self-respect. Those qualities proved far more valuable than the original goal alone. What once felt like a setback now felt like a necessary initiation into a more honest version of ambition. The pain had meaning because it redirected effort towards something sustainable in time. Gratitude replaced resentment, not because the rejection was pleasant, but because it was transformative. It forced accountability without cruelty and demanded growth without permission. The fear of rejection did not disappear completely, but it lost its authority. Fear became a signal rather than a stop sign, indicating areas that mattered enough to pursue seriously. Success eventually followed, but it arrived quietly, without fireworks, built on consistency rather than luck. When it came, it felt earned in a deeper way than imagined before. The most powerful change was invisible, living in the way challenges were approached with patience instead of panic. Rejection had trained resilience better than praise ever could. Looking back, the rejection that once defined failure now defined a turning point. It was the moment when effort became intentional and belief became self-generated. Not every rejection will lead to immediate growth, but everyone carries the potential to sharpen direction. The difference lies in whether it is allowed to end the story or reshape it. This story does not promise that rejection disappears, only that its meaning can be written. When rejection changes everything, it does so by revealing strength that comfort never demands.